Recording in progress always makes me a little nervous, you guys. I'm not a public speaker, never have been, don't like it. God's pushing me to do it. So here we go. I have been pretty excited to share my quote unquote compelling why. So, what is a compelling why, you ask? Everyone has a reason. I'll try and look at the camera instead of looking at myself. Everybody has a reason why they start something. Everyone has a reason why they start a goal. It doesn't matter if it's a weight loss journey, if it's a new business, if it's a trip to the grocery store. There is always a reason to start something. And I am pretty excited to share mine with you. When I first got into Arbonne, I thought that I was getting in for a specific reason, and it ended up being, after I dug a little deeper, it has nothing to do with that reason after all. So if you're here and you're taking the time to watch this, thank you. I really hope that it inspires you and you get something from this. So here we go. Sarah's compelling why. I'll also try not to be like super smiley, but I can't help it. It is the joy inside of me. So, all right, here we go. I'm sure, like many of you watching, I was a bit lost in life, but I didn't really know that yet. So 6 years ago, I was content in my identity as a new mom to my sweet little Reddy, a coach's wife, and an employee. I was living on the occasional but fleeting feeling of happiness. Now, don't get me wrong. I loved being a new mom, and I wore my coach's wife badge with so much pride, but I was exhausted. I had no time nor the energy for the Sarah, the real Sarah that God created me to be. I woke up every single day and I went through the exact same routine. It was just a mediocre life. I started my morning. I dropped my son off with someone else, not me. And I went to work. I picked my son up and then I came home. Now you throw in a sporadic game here and a team dinner there, and that was my life every single day. So that's kind of how it started. Now, the book, I don't know if you guys are much of a reader. I'm not. But the book On Fire talks about inflection points in our life, those moments when the world stands completely still and you have deep moments with yourself and you see things crystal clear in those moments. Your future, your choices, your current position in life, and something just shifts inside of you. I remember one of my very first inflection points. I had a really rough morning. Maybe my son clung to me as I dropped him off. Maybe I spilled my morning coffee. Maybe I ran out of gas, because that happened more than once. Regardless, it was an awful start to my day. I went into work already feeling defeated. I stared at my computer screen for what felt like hours, and I thought to myself, is this life? Is this truly what life is all about? I work to make money, and I need money to pay my bills and to acquire some time off. And I need the time off to enjoy life with the people that I love. It didn't make sense. I'm working for freedom, but I'll never truly be free. I'm sure that you guys have had moments like that or thoughts like that. So not long after that inflection point, I signed up as a consultant for Arbonne. Now, granted, this was 6 years ago with Arbonne. Now, what happened? Why am I not famous, you guys? Why didn't I make it? Why am I not sharing my Instagram stories from a beach in Maui? The devil, to put it quite simply. He's what happened. He told me that I was clueless. He told me that I could never convince anyone to buy our products. He called me a liar. He called me a hypocrite. He told me that I was worthless. He told me time and time again that I was insufficient in everything, that I was a half-ass mom, a half-ass wife. I was a terrible employee. And what was even worse than all that was that I believed him. For years, I believed him. So fast forward to spring of 2020, the era of Germex and toilet paper shortages. I had had enough. I was an emotionally drained wreck. My husband was about to uproot me for the fourth time in our 7 years of marriage. I was constantly exhausted from momming. I was working way more than I was living. And my friend, good friend, known her for probably over 10 years. Yeah, it's been over 10 years now. Her name is Keely Bobeck. She had stuck by my side through everything. She was constantly pulling me through the ditches. And little did I know, she had been Arbonne dating me her entire Arbonne career. She met me in a small Texas town one day for lunch, and she pulled up in her sparkling white Mercedes that I knew she had been working so hard for because I had been watching her all those years, but listening to the devil. And I thought to myself, if she can do that, if that jackwagon can earn that Mercedes, then I know that I can too. And at that point, it was about a Mercedes, to be honest with you guys. So I dove into the 30 days. I started learning. I started growing in every aspect of my life. Some major personal growth was transpiring inside of me. You guys, I started loving my journey. I started loving myself again. I started laughing more. I became more patient with my kids. I embraced the life of a coach's wife instead of despising it. I somehow became more social. I never was very social, if you can believe it. I started actually believing that there was more to life. I started believing that I could do great things. I found true, genuine joy all through finding myself. I slowly, but consistently, consistency is key, you guys, started turning into the human that my God intended me to be. So through a community that I luckily, blessed, whatever you want to call it, got plugged into, through that community full of positivity, support, encouragement, leadership, I have shed layers and layers of myself that I never knew existed. I thought saying yes to Arbonne was about finances. I thought it was about time freedom. And what I see now is how that yes completely changed the course of my future and the future of all of those in my path. It has absolutely nothing to do with finances or with time, or to be honest with you, it really has nothing to do with protein powder. Now, do I have dreams of financial freedom? You bet your buns I do. I want to sit comfortably, just like the rest of humanity does. I want to have the finances to give abundantly and to see the world and to pay for my kids' futures. But my dreams are going far beyond finances. I keep going back to the verse, Acts 20:24. Write that down, you guys. However, I consider my life worth nothing to me. My only aim is to finish the race and complete the task the Lord Jesus has given me, the task of testifying the good news of God's grace. I have never been closer to Jesus than I am in this stage of my life. Arbonne brought me here. So, what's in store for my future? Anybody know? I don't know that either. So, I know what I do know is that I undoubtedly want to change lives. I want to help. I really want to help people peel back the same layers that were peeled back in me. I want people to experience more physical, spiritual, and emotional growth. Spiritual and emotional, more physical, spiritual, and emotional growth the exact same way that I did, the exact same way that my leaders helped me. Their yes changed my life, just like my yes is going to change someone's life too. And when you look at it from that perspective, your yes to a goal changing someone else's life, there's no way that you can fail. And there is no way that God won't bless you along the way. So if you're having a hard time finding your why, think back to your leader's yes. Think about what that yes did for you. And think about the impact your yes can have on someone 5 years from now, 2 years from now, tomorrow. Have undeniable, crazy crazy faith that your yes to Arbonne, to whatever, to your goal, is part of God's divine intervention for you, for your family, and for so many people that you haven't even met yet. That is my why. That is what keeps me going. And I'm sure that it probably will do the same for you too. So, toodalooski.